Black to the Nicole show. Listen, this is a different type of vibe. This is where you tune in and you listen to me talking my ish. So if this is your first time here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It should be over the top. It should be me just doing too much like I like to do. And yeah, it's the Bougie AF channel, bringing you the Nicole show. So I hope, remember, you ain't heard this from me. Shout out Kim Wayne for being such a visionary. Now, P.S., please don't get too offended by anything said. I will just claim childhood trauma later on. Enjoy the show. Bye. What we do. Shout out to my girl Kim Waynes on the Nicole show. We just go on these people's internets and we talk shit. We are talking our shit about the trending topics and the things that people have been talking about. So let's go ahead and take a trip down to the Instagram and see what's going on there. So hold on one second. Here we go. Okay, so listen. I have been wanting to talk about this topic for a long time. This is what I don't like. So I think sometimes, like, when people get certain reputations and they're known for, like, spitting fire, talking their shit, they then try to, clean their image up, try to present themselves, the rebranding thing that we see all these stars do, like Tiny T.I. After a while, they start posting shit about Eris and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, the rebranding, like, trying to put yourself out there as something different. All of them do it. I think even Chrissy Teigen did it when she was ready to come back and be a presence on social media, a whole bunch of Jack stuff. Not saying it's not real. I'm just telling you that this is the play. You can get mad if you want to. That's just how I see it. Who else been doing things like that? Oh, the baby was doing it too in the beginning when he got in trouble with the LGBTQ joke community. When he got in trouble with them, when he wanted to kind of turn the tides and get the conversation off of that, he started posting pictures with, I think he posted his baby with Danny Lay and I think his other child, of course. So they start to do things like that. I mean, please pay attention to it. It's really PR, like, at works. Majority of the shit that we be seeing on these internets, that's what that is. That is most definitely PR, trying to find a way to smooth things over. We're seeing it most definitely with this whole Travis Scott and Astroworld stuff. I mean, I don't know I think he just hired a publicist or something because he shouldn't have been talking. Listen, if that was my people's and that was the apology, yeah, you can keep that. Just give us the money. You can keep all of your apology because that's crazy. But back to the topic. So when people do the rebranding things, they try to, they evaluate themselves and then they try to present themselves differently to the public. So, and it's hard because even like myself and things I've done in my past, and people they're like, oh, she talks against this and she talks this. I mean, all of this shit's true. I mean, if it's on the tapes, I said it. You know what I'm saying? Don't know where I was at in the time and place in my life and how I was feeling about things, but I said it. I own it. Anyway, and that's the hard thing about people don't understand. Like, people have a hard time owning their shit. I get on here, unapologetically talk my shit, and I'm going to own that shit. So, I wanted to talk about NeNe Leakes, and there was a couple people I wanted to talk about. NeNe Leakes and T.S. Madison. My whole thing is, if we fall all the way out, and we ain't really talking and all like that, what I don't need you to do is to like bring up my name in like some dry ass way and literally just still be talking shit about me like you were previously talking shit about me when we fell out, and then try to use things like a funeral and $200, like trying to use sentimental things to talk your shit, because then it puts me in a corner where it's hard for me to kind of respond because you know what the fuck you're doing. And that's exactly how I felt when it came out that NeNe Leakes was saying something about Cynthia not coming to Greg's funeral, and that all the women got together and put in $200 for a bouquet of flowers. Now, this is some nigga shit, and I think we got to be really completely honest when we hear nigga shit, because are you really sitting back caring on how much people spent about flowers at your deceased husband's funeral? Like, it's like, oh, I'm not quite sure. Like, what did you want? You wanted each of them to spend $600 on some flowers when you know you were gonna have more than enough flowers, because for some reason, weird ass reason to you've equated money into some type of meaning that's not there, hun. That's not there. The meaning was the card, or the meaning was getting together. That was the meaning. But you equated dollar amount on it for each person, and that's gross. But let's get to it. So NeNe Leakes says that Cynthia Bailey didn't show up until a week after Greg's passed. Also questions why all the rich housewives pitched in to send her a $200 bouquet of flowers instead of buying their own. You know, my petty ass, if I was on the Real Housewives and I heard you do an interview like this, bitch, I would go and cash app you a request for my fucking $200 back, you ungrateful ass. That's literally how I would have felt. I'm being completely honest. I literally would have felt like that. But let's go ahead and play what she says, because it's like, don't sit there on a calm monotone voice and be talking your shit and don't think it's not talking shit.
Housewife in the entire franchise, reached out to me. Kim Zodiac definitely have texted me since Greg has passed, and she has stayed in touch since then. So I would say that we are okay. I don't want to name drop, but I would expect her. Who? I would expect her. No. A lot of people expect that. No. She didn't even come to the repast. She did come like a week later after everything was done. She came by my lounge. It's really hard to explain Housewives. It's almost like a dysfunctional family. But they all reached out. They all sent flowers or something. Actually, I was surprised because the first set of flowers I got was a bouquet from like all the housewives. Like they went in together. I'm like, why do y'all need to go in together and buy some damn flowers? Like, it's all of y'all work. You don't need to, let's go in together and buy $200 worth of flowers. Like, you can spend your own $200. That's the way I've always been. During Greg's passing, every housewife.
See, and that's what I don't like. Like, talk your shit and be knowing that you're talking your shit. You start talking, calling us dysfunctional. Like, you low-key shading us. Like, that's just shady. You're talking shit. So don't sit up here and try to use the fact that the conversation around you talking shit, what's about your husband. Now, anybody who responds to you, oh, they're low-key not being, thoughtful of your feelings in this time of need. One, you've already been talking about men sliding in your DMs. You've already put the house up for sale that you and Greg had. Like, come on now. Like, come on. I feel like Candy would have the same way she felt about Phaedra. Was like, girl, you said I wasn't there for you, but you were already moved on to Mr. Chocolate allegedly and all this other stuff. Like, come on, you gotta pick a side on what it is. Are we still crying or what? What are we doing? That's what, like, you listen. All right, so listen. Let's go ahead to part 2. Let's see. Oh, okay.
We're not cool, we're not friends, we're nothing, we're nothing. But out of respect for Greg, I did send condolences, and I never made it public. I didn't put it out there.
Okay, so let me give you the rest of the story. So NeNe said what she said in that interview about, like, them being tacky and all that other stuff. So Claudia Jordan, who, did one season and was, like, NeNe's nemesis that season and really kind of really got into NeNe's ass. Like, NeNe couldn't keep up with Claudia Jordan because Claudia Jordan is gutter mouth and, like, she's just not going to play with you from top to bottom. Like, it just is what it is. Whereas the other women are going to let NeNe play in their face a little bit. Claudia's just not gonna let her play in her face, even though I'm not a Claudia fan. But Claudia's just not gonna let her play in her face. But I think I'm gonna keep it real. Claudia is just really smart, and so you're just not gonna be able just to you ain't gonna be able to put that nigga shit all, like, over her head. Like, you're not gonna be able to get that over on her. Her and Kenya. Like, Kenya is really smart too. So, like, that's why she's, like, smart and, like, talks really well and all the other stuff. But she really operates in that same, like, she gets it. Like, what? That's why her and NeNe never connected, because all like that. Because it's like, game recognizes game.
During Greg's passing,
all right, so that led to Cynthia responding. I'm not Cynthia. That led to Claudia feeling like, okay, so let me go ahead and check this woman, because she checks NeNe every time around. And it's because someone is not stalking you, someone is not obsessed with you when y'all have an issue or when there's back and forth that's been going between you. Like, stop trying to paint people some type of mental patient, because you know what it is when it becomes between you and them. Like, I've seen people even people I got problems with, and I talk my shit, and I may mention some shit from my life in their shit. Ain't nobody obsessed, ain't nobody stalking. Niggas know what it is. Like, it just is what it is. Like, So that's how I felt when Claudia responding to NeNe. You play this game, y'all all press record to be in on our streets, on these internet streets, to be in everybody's millions and millions of houses, and then try to act like people be in y'all business. There's something not connecting for me.
But her and we're not cool, we're not friends, we're nothing, we're nothing. But out of respect for Greg, I did send condolences, and I never made it public. I didn't put it out there or post something or tell the world and whatever. But I did feel triggered when she posted, when I heard about this story. I'm like, hold up. no one owes you anything. I wouldn't have to spend $1. It has nothing to do with you.
Talk that shit, Claudia. I mean, I don't really, like I said, I don't really agree with her, but she's 100%. Don't nobody owe you nothing. And that'd be the hardest thing for some people to realize in personal relationships. Like, you get mad at somebody, quick story, and won't even go there. So I remember this girl, and I think she thought she was gonna get her hustle on. I think a lot of times people see these glasses and see my demeanor. I think she thought I was some fool, right? And we gonna call this person, we gonna call it a tarsha crab. Remember I told y'all about tarsha crabs? That's what we call crabs around here. So this tarsha crab, she just started hanging out with her, new in a friendship, just trying to feel things out. Already feeling a little funny vibe, but can't put it all together yet. Of course, you don't in the beginning. Ain't put it all together yet. So, she used to like to travel with her mom or her mom's line dancing squad, and so she would go to every state with them, right? Not really a traveler, just I guess whatever. But she would go to every state with them behind their gigs, whatever, for line dancing. And she wanted to go to this particular, I think they were going to North Carolina. They were going somewhere, and she needed some money. And let me tell you how God works. So, one, I have rules, and I think it's because I'm not from the hood, so it's a little bit different when it comes to, like, my friendships necessarily have never been about exchanging money and money going back and forth, because, one, usually the people I be around have it, and I don't mean have it like, have it to do to be spending a whole bunch of money, but like have it to cover themselves. So I've never been around people who needed people to kind of cover for them all like that. It is what it is. But everybody struggles, but if you go out, you kind of have it. I've always been around that type. But this, so there's never been like no real exchange for money. Let me borrow 20. Like I've never had that in friendships. So whatever. So when it comes to money, and it's not to say that I'm like against like letting people borrow money, but I'm just saying it's just never really been a big thing within my friendships. So early in the friendship, I think about 2-3 months in, stuff had already started happening with this other character, but we ain't talking about that. Stuff had already started happening, and so I'm still keeping one eye open, still watching this one. So she asked for some money. She asked for $250 so she could go on this trip. And I didn't give her the money, right? I did not give her money. I think I even avoided her phone calls, because to me, I felt like it was inappropriate to be asking somebody who, come to find out, she ain't even like me like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Niggas always talk about how they didn't like you like that. And when they're in your face, you their favorite person to be around. But anyway, in your face, in your car. But, so, she asked me, and I didn't give it to her. I didn't even say no. I just kind of flaked and just like ignored her. So whatever the trip, she didn't go on the trip or whatever happened. And so we ended up started talking again. And she was like, oh, I know that we ain't talked since, that money situation. And I was a little upset, but I spoke to my mother and she was just like, don't nobody owe you that. And my whole thing is that this big whole age that your mom had to go around, or somebody had to tell you that somebody don't owe you that. How about, like, why are you out here trying to get money to go on a fucking trip any fucking way if you ain't got it? How about that part of life? Folks don't want to talk about that, because every time I've stepped out or stepped anywhere, I've had mine to cover for me. You know what I'm saying? That type of home dreaming. I don't need to be in these streets. I don't need to be out here asking for $40 for nothing. I don't need to be asking nobody for no drink. If I ain't got it, I don't need to be out in the streets. That's just me personally. But she asked me for $250, but someone had to tell her, don't nobody owe you nothing. And that's life. Like, so when I see NeNe do this, because NeNe is that type of hood rat ass chick that goes around thinking somebody owes you. Don't nobody fucking owe you shit. And yes, I know you work for yours and you got millions of dollars, but you got hood rat mentality about how you look at certain things. And that's some hood rat shit. And money don't make that go away. People don't know how to act with money. They still have nigga ways. And that's just it.
It has to do with your husband and paying respect to the man that we all got to know and love, who was so supportive and kind. Even when you were beefing with his wife, he was still a class act. And NeNe, I can't tell you how to grieve, because, again, I've never lost a husband. I've never lost a mate. I'm not married. I just have a boyfriend. But, like, it's just such a tagging thing to did you Google how much the flowers cost? Like, don't, the things that you said about other people, you're lucky that anyone even showed up for you, actually. The fact that people rallied around you, I thought was a beautiful moment. So let's not ruin it. It's no secret that her and I do not.
There are some people in the world who live in negativity consistently throughout their entire life. And then there's sometimes in life where you have people who are stalkers, who actually stalk your life. I was asked about, is Cynthia a
Bitch, how does somebody stalk your life when you press play? No, y'all gotta really get into that. Like, I literally, to stalk somebody, you literally have to invade privacy. You literally have to, minute by minute, be keeping up with them. You literally have to be involved in parts of, like, you have to be making life hard for them. Like, that's what it means to stalk somebody. Not by somebody just to comment on some shit that you said in the motherfucking media, or somebody commenting on some shit that you put out there. That's not obtaining information without you knowing. Like, what? And this is what I don't like about NeNe. And I know I've seen Kenya say she's good for the show, but this is what I don't like. I don't like this whole fake victim shit. And that's where I come off and sounding kind of mean, because I don't like that. Like, you sat there with behind them glasses, low key talking shit, doing all types of shit. Now all of a sudden, glasses off, and now we get to see your eyes, and you look like you just finished crying.
attended Greg's repast? No, she didn't. I answered the question very honestly. I'm a very honest person. She did not attend. Did it bother me that she didn't attend? No. Seemed like it bothered other people. She showed up a week or so later at the lounge. Great.
No, you said she didn't attend, and then you was just like, this show needs groups of ladies. We're just like a dysfunctional family. No, you know what you said. Like, I don't get it.
We had an amazing time. I was asked what gifts the Real Housewives gave. I did receive flowers from the Real Housewives cast. Kenya, Candy, Cynthia, Marlo. I had a conversation with Marlo about it when she came to me. Everybody had to chip in to get me a set of flowers. That moment when she and I were having a conversation, there are some people in the world who live. Please leave me alone. I'm asking that.
This is gross.
All of you guys, please leave me alone. I
This is
wish
gross.
my husband had not died. I would not be dealing with any of this.
This is gross.
Please leave me the
This is
fuck
gross to me.
alone. Please leave
This
me
is gross
alone.
to me.
I'm asking that.
And that's just how I see it. I mean, if you haven't been watching her for years, you don't know that this is literally how she operates, where she pokes bears and she does little things, and then she tries to hide her hand, and then you get this person that acts so tough and is bad. Lanithia leaks from Athens, Georgia, and will cuss a bitch out, but then on the other end, when you say some shit to her, some real shit, you get this character. Like, it's just weird. Like, I wouldn't want to be around someone like this. Like, this is the type of person that makes me think she's unhinged and something like, and this, there's no shade, but like, really, really go get that help, because this is not okay. This is not okay. NeNe leaks recently, because if I know what's up with somebody, I know what to expect from them. This is not okay to me. And the girl said, I sent you flowers and I didn't even have to, and she's right, she didn't, but you would have still said what you said if she didn't, or nobody else did. It would have been like, oh, they ain't really friends, and ain't nobody like, ugh, whatever. All right, so let's see what my co-hosts in the comments are saying. My girl needs to stay off social media until maybe the summertime. I don't know if they mean it like how I feel like they mean it, but from y'all know I'm laughing because, yeah, I agree. It wasn't the money, it's the energy. How much energy dies? How much energy does it take to say, put my name on the card? Which is the reason why they went back and gave personal condolences. I don't understand why this was a problem, and everyone but the individual involved had the problem. Exactly. Claudia pisses me off every time she opens her damn mouth. I can understand that. I feel this entire thing was unnecessary. Yes, NeNe, it was unnecessarily by you. Y'all heard that she said leave her alone. I'm praying for you. Yeah, we praying for you too. After you sell the house and you answer those text messages from whoever slid in your DMs, girl. I'm sad about all this, but Claudia, girl, please shut up, please. I understand completely where she's coming from, because people don't give you energy that you give them. Fakery is real. How? What? They're not friends. So I'm confused. They're flowers that are going to die. I think people put too much value into things that aren't really, it's not that deep. It's the thought. This is the time where it's the thought that counts. This is that time. She gets insurance money, and I know this is not about money, but she's not hurting for anything. What does she need all them damn flowers for? Like, you know how many different women have been on the Real Housewives of Atlanta? So you know how many different women that she's interacted with that's probably sent her flowers? Come on, y'all. being global warming anyway. Why y'all want to take all these flowers anyway? Um, I wish they would have never asked about the Real Housewives of Atlanta during the interview, but why? Because how do we know her? Some things don't make sense. I think Claudia wouldn't have had a reason to feel that she needed to discuss her. Such a sad situation because she's grieving and trying to cope with losing her husband. And I really wish people would stop judging and telling her how to grieve. Ain't nobody telling her how to grieve. We just saying, girl, we see you. We see you. NeNe didn't say anything wrong. Claudia needs to leave her alone. Everybody got their opinion. I completely understand when people in y'all lives pass that wasn't even close to I did more. What? Greg literally spoke at Todd's mother's funeral. She's saying it hurt that y'all didn't apply the same amount of pressure I did for y'all. Greg was a nice, decent, absolutely amazing person. Like, and it was times it didn't even look like what did he see in her? I literally thought that Greg just thought he got him a young tenderoni. And that's just what happened. Nigga got older and he had chosen. He left his wife and he found him a stripper. Allegedly and all that other stuff. It's not the price, it's about the principle. Okay, girl, I'm with you. Those women are Gucci and Fendi now, but couldn't each send the flowers. Oh, you lost me. Because it was just, okay. That comes off as though they really didn't care. I don't see it as that. Greg was great to all the women, and they should have shown up for him, especially Cynthia. I will say, I do think Cynthia should have went to the funeral, but I also think that sometimes Cynthia does come off very, she is very self-absorbed. Sometimes she does come off as very self-absorbed. So I will say that. I don't know. Over the years, it does seem like that, and Kenya does too sometimes. But I have picked that up for Cynthia, and y'all know how Cynthia is when she gets a man. Like nothing else matters, and she's one of those chicks who loses herself, and it just is what it is. I mean, we don't know what's going on in her life, but literally that's how it comes across. So this led me to somebody else who's out here talking shit and trying to play nice about their talking shit. And I was just like, it's still talking shit. Don't act like you passed the situation, but you still got some salt to throw on it. And that was T.S. Madison. And T.S. Madison talks about why Kaya and her fell out and why she'll never succeed unless she changes. You don't know the future. And don't talk about an issue as if though I'm the only one that could have been the problem in the issue. So now you're prophesizing over my motherfucking future? Get the fuck out of here. But okay. But let's listen.
And she just does not want to grow. The bitch don't want to grow.
Not the bitch.
And she's so talented in all things. And she just does not want to grow. We gonna see that bitch in front of that bookcase until we all leave this bitch. She gonna outlive all us though. She is. But we gonna see that bitch in front of that bookcase until she leave here. Until she really wants to really move forward. And she blamed it on Nicki Minaj this and...
You hotep ass niggas always talking about growth but still doing the same things. Ain't no growth if you still doing the same thing. And that's not to say... If the problem was that you used to be a big liar and a cheater and all this other stuff and you still denying that, there ain't no growth in that. So for me, the real growth would have been just sitting there and answering the question about Kaya and telling the story without that whole the bitch needs to or she's not going to grow, and then really making it like sullying her name from other people to be able to work with her. Now, whether or not it's true or not what Madison is saying, you're still sullying her name, and that's not growth, honey. That's not growth. To really speak on somebody, to really grow from situation and be like, it didn't work out, I'm good, and you keep it fucking pushing. But you don't do all of this. You don't take 2 minutes and at least from what this is, 2 minutes and 42 seconds to oh, you know, I'm just here and I'm just growing. But they're never going to grow. Like, no, that's a negative and positive happening in the same conversation, which some of y'all don't get. Like, positivity sounds like positively. It most definitely doesn't sound like throwing shade at somebody, right?
I'm like, damn, you know, it was just so much stuff. Nikki came in there genuinely wanting to be a part of something that was growing so fast and so big.
Nikki was a part of.
Yeah, Nikki was there. Nikki wanted to roll it out. You know.
I can see why. Listen, you know, say what you want.
It was listen.
Kaya is highly entertained.
She highly entertained, and then us together.
And I'll be completely honest about T.S. Madison and the gay community. Fuck y'all until y'all get consistent about standing up for things, right? I'm never going to talk about hate because I'm not into all that when it comes to people choosing their sexual preference. But y'all messaging and stand behind you messaging, it's going to miss me. It's going to miss me because T.S. Madison, I most definitely wrote to you on your Facebook post. And I said to you, how do you go and y'all continue to go on the Breakfast Club, knowing Charlamagne lesser charge, will talk about him raping a girl back in the day and took a lesser charge for it and make jokes out of it. Like, y'all can't be activists in some ways and then in other ways not, but you're okay with associating and supporting platforms that support lesser charge ass niggas who will brag about raping girls. Like, come on, get the fuck out of here.
I was highly entertaining together.
We were highly entertaining together, and we reshaped culture. We reshaped the way. There's so many people out there with gavels and judges and this and the other and commentary on the way we did it. It was fun. It was love. I just wanted to step our pussy up.
What that mean?
No, I do agree. Like the Queen's Court, Kaya, like that shit was so funny. Like I literally, when I had some things between some papers, and I just want a good laugh, I have to bring up that Regine call your daddy. Regine call your daddy. I have to bring that shit up. And it's so funny because I ain't got no problem with the Regine, but that shit is hilarious. That shit is hilarious. Like, there's just no getting around with the Kaya is the truth, okay? And Kaya's like up there. And then y'all see I got my little poster. Y'all got my person sitting in the corner. Kaya's like Kim Wayne's. Like, Kaya gives it up like that. Like, I love it. I love it. So she talks her shit. It is what it is.
Minaj used to say that. She said that on lip service.
Yeah, I just want to step our pussy up and step the bitch up, and that's like make it to everybody that's anybody comes to the Breakfast Club.
Right.
Everybody that's anybody comes through here. I wanted everybody that's anybody to be able to come through.
And that's why y'all know how I'm really transparent. Watch your activists. Watch activists that say this, because what she sees is the opportunity of being seen above principles and, you know what I mean, standing on something. She sees that. Like, she's willing to go there because that's the only way that you could sit in this seat and sit next to this man and feel okay about it. And Charlamagne can't be charged and put back in prison for what he did, but he most definitely has to acknowledge that he made fun of a situation. You then was living hypocritically and being a part of the surviving R. Kelly while still making fun of your own situation. You have rhetoric and you talk about people like you're not talking about yourself. And we have to be clear about that he understands that. Like, stop playing.
Our spot too, you know. And make it do what it do. But
now, if I don't know if that would have happened.
No, it wasn't.
Y'all was hard on.
We were hard on motherfuckers. But see, that's why it had to be light and dark. Cause I'm gonna talk to the folk. I want the folk to be over there. I don't want to just sit over there and say Keisha K or hand. Well, girl, what did Kaya say? That shit was a mess. That you could tell how old she is because her motherfucking hand. I was like, oh God. And those reactions I said were very real reactions. Mm-hmm. You can tell how old she is because look how some shit she was tearing that girl up. I would have loved, and she said, "Where are your children, bitch? Where are your children?" Keisha came up here. She's like, she don't have no kids and this and the other, whatever, blah blah blah. But I would have loved for her to come to our shit, and it would have been
respond
fun, and it would have been funny. But you know, baby girl ain't she didn't have the same vision that I had. And when people don't have the same vision that you have, it's not going to work. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you just did yourself a disservice. So you knew y'all didn't have the same vision, but you were going to step off with the name and shit? Then dissolve it. Like, adults want to... if I come to a conclusion about something, that's what the fuck it is. Move on that. You knew it wasn't working, or you seen it differently than she did, and... You seen it differently than shit. I honestly think the way that Kaya wanted to do it, which is not attach myself to any celebrities, keep it as raw as possible. And so that way I can never come off as hypocritical, or I can never come off as though someone bought me, right? And I think that's what Kaya wanted. She wanted to make sure that if we move or do anything and sign it on to somebody, they don't own me. And I think Madison is willing to sell that ass. We know T.S. Madison is willing to sell that ass. that T.S. Madison is willing to compromise being an owner and creative, and not and but be it I'm pretty sure she owns and she's a creative, but she's willing to have people over top of her that will tell her she can't say this and she can't say that. We see that all the time. We see it on the blogs. We see it with the shade room, the neighborhood talk. Like, I can see the correlations and the networking that has happened behind the scenes because of how they report and talk about certain people, right? That does not align to when how other people are reporting on them, right? So you see it, but I think that Kaya could see that T.S. Madison, like, it, honestly, on some streets, but you sell your ass, you sell your soul. Like, that's just what it is. And Kaya's not like that. All right, y'all. So I just wanted to come on here and give y'all a little bit of that. It's messy as fuck on these streets, but thanks for tuning into the Nicole show. Nicole show. Fuck these bitches. Y'all see how messy they are. Messy, messy, messy. Don't be. I hate a fake nice or a nice nasty ass bitch. Like, keep it 100. Talk about how you feel. Don't do that light and growth and positivity shit, but you talking and throwing salt on my name. Like, none of that other shit's gonna hit. None of that other positive shit's gonna hit when you talking shit. Like, that's just it. All right, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out. Bye.